creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to AVN News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz, here to bring you the global news that matters. In the next half hour, we'll cover everything from world politics to cultural insights. Stay tuned. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk makes a strong plea for an end to the violence in Myanmar, highlighting that brutal atrocity crimes are being committed.
UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk on Tuesday made a strong plea for an end to the violence in Myanmar, highlighting that brutal atrocity crimes are being committed. The UN Human Rights Office is investigating several reported attacks against civilians in Rakhine State and Sagaing over recent days, with large numbers of civilians allegedly killed in airstrikes, naval artillery barrages and shootings. In a cynical movement, the military has pressured and threatened young Rohingya men to join their ranks. Some reports have indicated thousands of Rohingya youth have been conscripted into the very same forces that displaced hundreds of thousands of their community in 2016 and 2017. In response, the Arakan army has exhorted Rohingya to fight with them against the military. They have targeted their communities by forcibly displacing residents. On multiple occasions, they have detained or killed men of fighting age who they suspected of taking up arms against them. And tens of thousands of civilians from these communities have been forced to flee, among them entire Rohingya communities with no guarantees of finding safe haven. Over 1 million Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh are still living in limbo in dire conditions with no prospects for durable solutions.
200 representatives from 61 countries, including high-level officials of the World Bank, discussed guidelines for mobilization of resources and future plans. The third replenishment meeting of the World Bank's Fund for Low-Income Countries, the International Development Association (IDA), kicked off in Nepal's federal capital Kathmandu from today. The World Bank's IDA is a committed partner in South Asia for over 6 decades.
The 4-day IDA 21 meeting brings together 200 representatives from 61 countries, including high-level officials of the World Bank. They will discuss the proposed IDA 21 policy focus areas: people, planet, prosperity, infrastructure, and digitalization. Delivering his keynote address at the inaugural session, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal urged the developed countries to help address challenges faced by the countries which missed industrial revolutions. The Prime Minister urged that assistance to the countries lagging behind industrial development was essential for achieving global goal of peace and prosperity. Nepal was in short supply of financial resources to meet Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). Nationally determined contributions (NDC) and sustainable infrastructures despite its efforts for inclusive economic development. Senior Managing Director at World Bank, Axel van Trostenberg, viewed the meeting will provide a guideline for mobilization of IDA resources in addition to making plans for the coming decade.
In May, Vietnam records its first trade deficit in 2 years following a continuous period of trade surplus. The export figure for May reached the lowest level compared to the $8 billion trade surplus from the beginning of the year. However, there are positive signs as the businesses are increasingly importing raw materials and fuels for the boom in year-end orders.
The sportswear business has had orders to the US and Europe market lined up till the end of the year. The company has to import 20% more woven fabric, which is yet to be produced domestically to ensure the production. This year's orders surpassed 15 to 20% the company's capacity. As a result, the company has to import raw materials such as fabric from China, Korea, and other Asian countries. According to the Statistics Office, May's trade deficit is driven by a sharp increase in imports of equipment, machinery, and raw materials for production. Businesses in electronics and computer components, phone components, textiles, leather, and footwear are preparing production for orders in the second half of this year. China remains as Vietnam's largest import market for production materials, with the trade deficit from this country reaching over $32 billion in the past 5 months, an increase of over 55% compared to the same period. The upward trend in importing machinery and equipment from other countries also contributed to the increase in imports. They are planning to increase the monthly capacity from 2 to 4 million products. Therefore, the company imported machines to meet this year's production target. These machines are of high quality, meeting the standards of the customers. After 23 months of trade surplus, this May recorded a trade deficit of $500 million. It is driven by an increase in imports of equipment, machinery and raw materials, which is a sign of positive recovery for production. The large amount of imports of raw materials also pushed the total import and export turnover of goods in the past 5 months by over 22% compared to the same period last year. It contributes to the goal of a 6% import and export turnover growth rate set for the year.
Vietnam's fruit and vegetable export turnover in the first 5 months of this year was nearly $2.6 billion US. In the past 5 months, Vietnam also spent more than $700 million US on fruit and vegetable imports. This is normal, but reality shows that solutions are needed to promote the consumption of Vietnamese fruits in the domestic market. In particular, during the summer, avoiding stagnation and fall in prices is always the top concern of fruit growers.
This farmer always tries to be the first to plant new grape varieties. His farm-grown grapes attracts many customers because of their sweet taste. Customers buy grape products directly from him instead of buying imported grapes. He has invested in new varieties and farming techniques to achieve this. He says he has to wrap the grapes like this to protect them from direct sunlight and reduce the acrid taste, so the consumers can savor them with the best quality. The same goes for apple orchards. Consumers are willing to spend big money on fresh apples if they find them safe products. A financial package and safe farming techniques support each farmer's household. Ninh Thuan province contributes 2 main products, grapes and apples, to the domestic fruit market. Over the years, supply chain linkages between businesses, cooperatives and grape and apple farmers have been forged in Ninh Thuan province. One business has built relationships with 200 farming households, producing over 100 tons of apples monthly. He noted thanks to these linkages, he can guarantee the origin and safety of the products to customers. More importantly, the selling prices can be stabilized for farmers so they feel more confident about maintaining their farming activities. The Grape and Apple Association of Ninh Thuan province has recently provided farmers with credit capital support to help them invest in production that meets safe Viet Gap, Global Gap and organic farming standards. Vietnamese fruit growers can secure sustainable output and favorable prices by ensuring good quality and food safety.
Eminent Indian filmmaker Shyam Bengal was at the ongoing Mumbai International Film Festival, and he was impressed by the variety of documentaries at this edition of the festival and the youth involved in these movies. DD India correspondent Shyama Mishra had an exclusive conversation with the eminent filmmaker Shyam Bengal. He praised the films and documentaries at the film festival and lauded the youth for making such movies.
The great filmmaker Shyam Bengal is here with us. Sir, congratulations on Manthan, and we saw it at Cannes Film Festival, the revived category rather. You are here at MIF. How do you see this as a platform? You know, this is because especially for documentaries and filmmakers.
The most important thing is I'm very impressed with the quality of the short films. You know, and it was an eye-opener because, you know, short films and documentaries were always looked down upon for many years. But suddenly, when I saw this, I said, my God, you know, the quality of films that are being made by our youth, young people, excellent. That's my answer to your question.
Okay. Since you've already mentioned, you know, there are some great movies that you've seen, and I'm sure there are a lot more that you've not seen. The right kind of platform, and Doc Bazaar is one place where, you know, the talk of business happens, and then they can actually make that thing happen to reach to people. How do you see Doc Bazaar? And this is the first of kind happening at MIF.
Well, you know, I mean, we have only one problem. There are no kind of uh, set of cinemas where you can see films of this kind on a regular basis, you know, because that would help the filmmakers to also get part of the revenue. You know, now what happens is it becomes a one-way street. You know, you have to get money from somewhere, make the film, nobody is sure, particularly when you want to make short films. They'll all say, where will you show?
Yeah, exactly.
How will you recover the cost of the film? You know, that's a big problem. And that's why, under these very trying circumstances, to see the quality of films that I saw today is quite amazing.
National Gallery of Modern Art in the Indian capital of New Delhi starts a novel initiative for little artists under India's Ministry of Culture. It has organized summer classes for children to learn various arts from drawing to singing and dancing. India's Ministry of Culture organizes special summer classes on visual and performing arts at National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi. There are a lot of classes ranging from art, craft and pottery to printmaking and theatre. The initiative aims to foster creativity and provide hands-on experience in various art forms. DD India correspondent Kriti Vadera has more on this.
Art enthusiasts and creative minds have a lot to look forward to this summer. The Ministry of Culture has organized a series of summer classes at National Gallery of Modern Art, offering workshops in art, craft, pottery, printmaking and theatre.
The idea behind that this is the time of the interdisciplinary thing. So students can know about the quality of the artwork, the aesthetics of the artwork, the technique of the artwork, like sculpture, like pottery, like printmaking, like painting, or as well as the performing art also. See, in contemporary Indian art, so many important artists are there doing performing with the visual arts. They make installation with the performing art, you know. So this is the idea we'll try to, convey with the students also.
The National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi is buzzing with activities as it rolls out an extensive program of workshops. The initiative aims to foster creativity and provides hands-on experience in various art forms.
I feel very nice about the classes. I feel that as if I am retaining all my past and happy memories in this art class. I already knew painting, but I didn't know how to do perfect painting. Like, I have learned how to now paint without the color coming out of the line. And I have learned how to make things out of a circle, square and be creative.
I feel that these art classes wake up the inner soul. And they also enlighten us and encourage us to move a step forward in painting.
From the tactile art of pottery to the intricate process of printmaking, each workshop offers a unique experience. Puppetry classes teach the delicate art of handmade creations, while theatre workshops encourage self-expression and performance skills. These workshops not only provide an avenue of artistic exploration, but also promote cultural heritage and community. Whether you are a professional artist or maybe just someone who wants to explore something new, these summer classes at National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi have something for everyone. It is a wonderful opportunity to unleash your creativity. With camera person Ashish, I am Kriti Vadera reporting from New Delhi for DD India.
Smritivan, an Indian museum dedicated to earthquake victims, is named one of the 7 most beautiful museums globally under the Prix Versailles Award for Architecture and Design. A museum created for the bereaved families of the earthquake victims of 2001 Kutch earthquake, Smritivan in Gujarat, the western state of India, has made it to the list of 7 most beautiful museums in the world under the Previously Award, which is announced annually for architecture and design. It is the first time that an Indian museum has received this honor. Meghna Dev reports from Ground Zero.
Over 13,000 people had died in the devastating earthquake of 2001 in Gujarat's Kutch. The earthquake had reduced Kutch to shambles, but to the resilience of the people of Kutch, it stood back on its feet. And to pay tribute to this resilience, India's largest memorial and museum, Smriti Van, was constructed. Smriti Van means a forest of memories and is the largest memorial and museum to ever be built in modern India, covering a vast area of over 470 acres, situated on the Bhujio Dungar, a small hill in the outskirts of Bhuj, which was the epicenter of the 2001 earthquake. Envisioned by Prime Minister Modi, the memorial carries names of the people who had lost their lives during the earthquake. The state-of-the-art Smriti Van Earthquake Museum is segregated in 7 blocks based on 7 themes: rebirth, rediscover, restore, rebuild, rethink, relive and renew. These blocks depict ability of the earth to overcome every time, Gujarat's topography, aftermath of the 2001 earthquake, massive relief efforts, and Gujarat's rebuilding initiatives, success stories post-2001 earthquake. One of the blocks helps the visitors to relive the experience of an earthquake with the help of a simulator, and a space for remembrance where they can pay homage to the lost souls. It is a matter of pride for Gujarat and India and a tribute to those who lost their lives in the 2001 earthquake, with Smriti Van finding a place on the world selection for the Pre-Versailles Museums 2024. This will also increase the museum's global popularity and enable the world to understand the devastation of natural disasters and its aftermath. Meghna Dev's report, DD India.
Various industries across China are exploiting the full potential of the advances in artificial intelligence, AI, to develop specific industrial large knowledge models which are delivering targeted solutions to industry-specific issues, from bringing medical benefits to providing more accurate weather forecasting.
China has already developed more than 200 AI models, many of which are knowledge models based on specialized applications and specific data. Technology companies say that compared to more common large language models, which are trained with general knowledge, the deployment of these industrial large knowledge models, which instead gather knowledge in specialized domains to solve various industry-specific problems, are delivering more practical uses. The benefit of these breakthroughs are being felt widely, including in the medical field, and abide in those with disabilities. A company in the East China tech hub of Hangzhou has developed an intelligent artificial limb based on an industrial large knowledge model that enables more precise and safer movements for user. Meanwhile, an AI company in Beijing named For Paradigm has developed a chronic disease management system based on an industrial large knowledge model. This can generate customers' current health status and compile a comprehensive health report for the next 3 years according to their basic information. The company's founder said that this function is based on assessing millions of physical examination data sets to predict customers' health status and help doctors manage chronic diseases. The developments are also being used in the meteorology field, with researchers at Yellow River Engineering Consulting Corporation applying an industrial model to improve the accuracy of flood forecasting in order to better prepare the potential impacts of weather events. The business sector also stands to capitalize from the gains being made on the AI front, with practitioners believing that these specialized knowledge models have broad prospects.
And with that, we conclude this edition of AVN News. Thank you all for watching. Hoping you all enjoyed the stories and insights we shared. From all of us here in PSM News, we bid you a good night.
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.